Why do I have 3 microphones on my desk at the same time? Well, I guess it's comparison time. The contenders are the HyperX SoloCast, the Genesis Radium 400 and the Fifine A8, which I just received and I've been specifically encouraged to compare it with every microphone I had. So, let's get started! First of all, let's talk about the materials and the form factor. The SoloCast is much smaller than the Fifine A8 and of course much smaller than the Radium 400, both the stand and the microphone itself. But one of the biggest complaints I had for the HyperX was the lack of a pop filter, which you can definitely tell from the recordings. And the A8 has it, and it's also integrated in a smart way. It's a little mesh fixed on the stand of the microphone. Easy to remove, you only need to pull it like this and it's removed. And it also has a smiling face on it, which it's useless but it's kind of nice. The pop filter isn't the only difference of the stand of the microphone. The greater space occupied is justified by the presence of a shock mount, as you can see, which is extremely nice to have because it absorbs many shocks, well, obviously, that normally with the SoloCast influence the final audio result. As you can see, like only by moving a little bit the desk you can see how the microphone moves, and without the shock absorber you usually can hear this. Another difference is the RGB Presence on the A8. This is not really a positive nor a negative aspect, it really depends on your preferences, but you can select from different color scheme, fixed or wave-like lighting. Just under the button here to select the color of the microphone, you find a dial to increase or decrease the audio gain directly from the microphone without having to deal with software. In these cases, it's always better to have a physical knob. It's just way easier to make an adjustment on the go. Just as it's better to have a quick button to mute yourself right here on the top of the microphone, just like the SoloCast. This way you can quickly mute yourself, avoiding gaffes while you're in a video call or while you're streaming. Okay, all the physical differences, but what about audio quality? I am going to make a comparison between these 3 microphones using both the A8, which is around $48 US, and the SoloCast, the HyperX SoloCast, which is around 50, and the Genesis Radium 400, which is about 60 euros. I've chosen these microphones because they're about in the same price range and also because I have them laying around in my house. Before starting the comparison, I'm expecting the Genesis Radium 400 to be the best one because of the mount and the extremely useful pop filter right here, followed by Fifine, then the SoloCast, but I could be wrong. Let's get started. I will be reading a passage from I Promessi Sposi, just because I like it, and it's in Italian where I have more musicality in my voice. So let's start using let's go with the Radium 400 from Genesis.
L'uomo si vide perduto, il terror della morte l'invase e, con un senso per avventura più forte, il terrore di diventare preda dei monatti, d'essere portato, buttato al lazzaretto. E cercando la maniera di evitare quest'orribile sorte, sentiva i suoi pensieri confondersi e oscurarsi, sentiva avvicinarsi il momento che non avrebbe più testa, se non quanto bastasse per darsi alla disperazione. Afferrò il campanello e lo scosse con violenza. Comparve subito il Griso, il quale stava allerta. Si fermò a una certa distanza dal letto, guardò attentamente il padrone e s'accertò di quello che la sera aveva congetturato. «Griso!» disse Don Rodrigo, rizzandosi stentatamente a sedere. «Tu sei sempre stato il mio fido». «Sì, signore. T'ho sempre fatto del bene, per sua bontà. Di te mi posso fidare». Diavolo, sto male, Griso, me ne ero accorto. Se guarisco ti farò del bene ancora più di quello che te ne ho fatto per il passato.
I was pretty much wrong because the Radium 400 is actually, I don't wanna say the worst, but I think the most natural to live voice recording are from the HyperX SoloCast and the Fifine A8. There are not a ton of differences between the two microphones as for audio quality, and also for the price they're almost the same. The Fifine is only a couple of euros cheaper. So in conclusion, I would say that based on what you need, I would probably go with one of these two, because the pop filter doesn't make a huge ton of differences, so I would go for the look and for the size. If you have a small setup, maybe with the SoloCast. If you have a little bit more space, with the Fifine. As for the Radium 400, if you really need an arm for your microphone, that's a valid option. And if you also need a pop filter, because that's the only one that is effectively influencing the audio. Thank you for sticking until the end. Leave a like, a comment, and remember to subscribe if you've liked this video. And I'll see you around. Ciao!